Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this Christmas card making tutorial. This is the lovely Christmas card we're making today, featuring this gorgeous snowflake, and this is from the Snowy Delights Snowy Delights bundle from Stampin' Up. And I'll show you the stamp set we're going to use. As this one, Snowy Delights. We're going to use this gorgeous snowflake here. Now this has a matching die set and stencils, and we're going to use both of those today, so you'll be able to see them. I've got everything set up with my stamping tool, and we're going to stamp on a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my shape, my outline, with some Memento Tuxedo Black, one of my favourite black inks. So let's stamp that down. Haven't given that a really good press, obviously. Stamp it again. Obviously didn't ink it up very well. That's the beauty of having a stamping tool, as you can give it a proper press down. Perfect. Yep, there we go. Lovely. Take that out of there. Let's give this a wash and a clean, because otherwise it's likely to get left in the stamping tool, and then when I need it next I won't be able to find it. So take that out now. There we go. I can remove this because we're done with our stamping for today. And put this back in this little home. Now I should just say, I've mentioned before that we won't be photopolymer stamps will no longer come in cases. They're going to come in a new packaging very similar to our dies, like this, which is great as far as I'm concerned. They'll still be well protected and looked after, but it means that we'll be able to fit a lot more on our shelf than you can fit with the stamping case, and I love that. I'm all for space saving in my storage, because I don't have a lot of space in my craft room. I don't even have space to film in there. That's why I have to film here in a spare room. Okay, here is our lovely snowflake. So now I'm going to stick this down to my what do you call this thing, grid paper with some post-it note tape, and I'm using used pieces of post-it note tape. I reuse my post-it note tape time and time again until there's nothing left to use. Right, now we're going to look at the stencils. These are the stencils. There are 5 of them. I don't think mine are in number order because I just washed them. I should say they wash beautifully. The ink just falls off them. There's no problems. So that's number 2, number 3. They're just embossed slightly with the number. If you can't see it, just write it on yourself with a Sharpie or something like that. But there we have them in order. So we've got number 1 here. So we're just going to line this up. As you can see, look how easily that lined up. And then I'm going to hold this down again with some more post-it note tape. Where's the post-it note tape? There it is. As you can see, I have quite a few pieces I've used time and time again. Right, now you'll see on each of these there is a notch at the very top here, and this allows you to easily line something up. So I think I've covered the notch very carefully with my post-it note tape, but I'm just going to use my pencil to make a mark at that notch, and that will mean I just have to line that notch up every time, and everything else should line up fine. I'm going to do slightly different colourway with colours. I brought up a few colours to check them out. I've got to start off as last time I did, but didn't think this would work, and I actually liked it a lot. Soft sea foam. So I'm going to go in with just a very light hand, just to give a very very light colouring of soft sea foam here. Nothing too dark. You could make it darker if you want, but I really liked how this actually looked, which I was surprised, but soft sea foam is not a colour I use very often, and I think that just shows sometimes you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone and you'll be surprised at what you find. Okay, so that is our first stencil, so we can remove that, and then we can go in for stencil number 2. Again, just line up this notch, and then everything else will line up really easily, as you can see here. There we go. And then stick that again down with some post-it note tape so it doesn't move on me. Use a deeper colour this time. I'm going to go for some Pool Party. You can go for as light or hard a hand as you want, so you can put as much colour down as you wish. It is your project, and there's no right or wrong way to do this, but I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to remove that and see what we've got. Yeah, that looks good to me. Right, number 3. And I tell you, being able to have this notch is invaluable with some of this lining up. It really does make life so much easier to get things properly lined up. There we go, that looks good to me. So let's do that. Now I think I'm going to go with something darker this time. I think I'm going to go with some Lost Lagoon. Really darken this up. And quite a heavy hand. Okay, I think that should do. I always close up my ink pens as I go along. Main reason is I don't want to stick something in it like my elbow and then transfer ink all over the place. I find if I close things up as I go along, there's less chance of me making a mess. So, as before, just line that notch up, and that will be invaluable in helping you line up everything else. So the last colour I think we're going to use is Pretty Peacock. So this is a really deep colour, but I mean it's a strong, vibrant colour. It's one of our regals, so it's a full and rich colour, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to be quite heavy with this. I think that'll do for now. Close this up and let's have a look at what we've got. I have to say I love looking at my ink pads like that. They just look so pretty. Such a lovely selection of colours, I think. That looks nice. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Right, so we can use all this post-it note tape again. So we'll take that off. Here are the dies. You get a lot of dies here. You can actually, let me show you because I think this is really clever. You can actually cut out just the centre of your die, of your snowflake if you want, or you can cut out, which is the one I'm going to use here, like that. But if you wanted to mat this, you do have an extra die here, so you could mat this and create a little window for your die to poke through, or just another layer. There is a lot of lovely options there for you, so I think that is really clever. So I'm going to cut this out and put it through the die cutting machine, and then I will see you in a minute. Okay, so that's all die cut out there, so let's start to make our card. Our card base is thick basic white, so that's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. Then I've got a piece here of designer series paper. Now I think this is from the Winter Meadow and it's no longer available, but you could use any coordinating colour. You could use you could also use the Lost Lagoon or some designer series paper. That would look lovely as well. I'm just trying to use up some of my stash, so I've used that, and then we're going to just put down some glue here on the back. On our snowflake. And then I'm going to center this on my card, something like that. I'm keeping this very simple, I should say, nothing too difficult. And I really just love this beautiful, beautiful snowflake. So I'm going to use some of these are the Greetings for You ephemera pack, and it has some lovely Christmas greetings in it. We've got seasons greetings, 'tis the season, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. Let's try this one here. See how this looks. Yeah, we'll have Merry Christmas. Now these aren't just die cuts, they're actually stickers, which is wonderful. I was so pleased when I found this out. I realised they were stickers. So it's a really good cardstock sticker. Just get the backing off there. It's sturdy. And I love that it's foiled, so it gives it that little bit of bling for Christmas, which you could all do with. And I'm just going to centre it here as best I can. That will do. Merry Christmas. Get rid of these backings, and then I'm going to just use, I brought here these are adhesive back sparkle gems. Now I don't know if these are still available, but I also brought up these are available, and you could use these as well, and they look really cute. These are the traditional sparkling sequins, and I'll link those below for you. If these other ones are available, I will list them and link them below too. So you can find, if you want more information about this card, you can find it all on my blog post. You can find the links to that and all my social media links in the description box below, so you can check that out. Everything is there for you as always. So I'm just seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I need something up here. Six. There we go, that should do it. Right, we've finished with our 2 cards featuring the sparkling snowflakes, stamp die and mask. Is it sparkling snowflakes? No, Snowy Delights, sorry. Get that right. Snowy Delights stamp set, dies and masks. Now I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, I'd be so grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So I hope have you started your Christmas card making yet? Let me know in the description box below. So until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.